It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, I want to talk about two press releases that came out by Konica. One was last week, one was today. And I think we can learn something from these press releases. And I'm hoping that the industry that I call home, those folks that sell supply and service print equipment, can learn something from these press releases. Because something's got to change in the way the industry addresses its aspirations around IT services. So the first press release that Konica put out there last week was that they won an award. I'm going to get to that in a second. The press release they put out today was they have to adjust the outlook on their fiscal year ending March 31st of 2022, and those financials will actually be on the street May 12th, which is next week. But they wanted to revise the operating profit. Ladies and gentlemen, all year as I shared my thoughts on Konica Minolta's quarterly financials, I kept asking the question, why are they not adjusting their operating profit? They're still saying they're going to have a $12 billion positive operating profit when every quarter they were kind of in the hole, right? How are they going to get there? I kept asking that question. Well, they decided to revise them. And so without any further ado, let me jump on the Sharp Interactive board. We're going to talk about that. So here's the headline: Notice regarding revision of the forecast for the consolidated financial results for the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2022. Recording of impairment, losses, and operating loss due to reassessment of recoverable amount of accounts receivable. So they're gonna write some stuff off. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not a little. Their operating losses for the year are going to be $125 million, 16.2 billion yen. They were supposed to have a 12 billion yen positive operating profit. That's an adjustment of 35 billion yen, which brings them to a loss of 16.2 billion yen, or $125 million. That's the revision. We'll see if that number is the same on the actual financials that come out like in 7 days. But they're warning the world it's not going to be good. But here's where I'm struggling. And I keep asking these questions, right? And it's not just of Konica. It's all the OEMs. If you're going to start talking about these other things that you're doing, you got to start sharing the successes of these other things as the world starts to recognize more and more that print is in the toilet. What's the hope? What's the hope? In Konica Minolta's case, they talked a lot about the DX, right? They're going to digitize the world. They're doing all this stuff around digitalization. All covered. IT services, security services, cybersecurity, all this stuff. That video I did last week where they bought 17 organizations underneath the all-covered umbrella over the last 10 years. What's all that panning out to? Where's all the money from that? Where's all the profit from that? Can you share that with the world to make the world feel better? Konica Minolta just had their meeting. They had the dealers there. Did they tell you they were going to take an impairment loss of $125 million? How did they describe their year ending March 31st of 2022? Did anybody even ask the question? I'm sure the question was asked by some analyst, and the answer is probably, well, we're flat, and that was the end of it. Because the analysts in our industry won't ask any questions of the OEMs for the most part. But the bottom line is, did they share that? They had all the dealers up there last week. Did they just find this out like yesterday? What did they talk to the dealers about regarding all covered? Is it a goal of Konica Minolta to have dealers selling that all covered platform, selling IT services to their end users through the all covered platform? Folks, if I was a dealer, there's no way in the world that I would use any master service provider that couldn't prove that they were profitable. Why would you do that? That goes for our friends over at Collaborants that are owned by Great America. That goes for the ConnectWise master service provider platform. If these organizations are trying to get you dealers to use them to go into the marketplace to deliver IT services and security service and cybersecurity to your end users, and they're not profitable, well, that could be a recipe for disaster. But yet they don't share those numbers. They don't even talk about it. And I don't understand why they don't talk about it. Because if everything was so great, I assure you they'd be talking about it. They love to brag. The other press release was this award. All Covered wins Best Cloud Consultancy MSP category in the 2021-22 International Cloud Computing Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, Konica's not the only one that does this. All the OEMs, they love these awards, but do we ever really just peel the onion back? What the hell does this even mean? Do we ever look these awards up? Do we ever look at the criteria to win the award? Well, I did. I'm going to share some of that with you. There it is. There's all kinds. This company, they sell all kinds of awards. They tell you, you want to fill out the application, make sure you pay first. And if you're an early entry, it's $4.95 to $6.95. If you're a standard entry, well, it's $5.95 to $7.95. If you want to enter late, like you're going to have a bad financial coming out, and you want to get the award before that happens, you got to pay a late charge. And then you fill out a questionnaire, and folks, pull up these questionnaires. Come on, pull them up. They're so elementary, it's ridiculous. And look at the questions that they're asking. They have a winner for, there's so many categories, it's insane. So you pay for the category you want, you fill out the questionnaire, there's going to be a winner, there's like 9 or 10, people that came in, the top 10, if you will, there's one winner, and then the top 9 under them. Come on. Is this really the future of the IT services business, to see who can buy the most awards? Maybe we need to stop focusing on paying for awards and focus on delivering IT services remarkably. Maybe we need to start focusing on why we won the award. Look, I'm not going to take anything away from All Covered if they won this award. Why don't they share all the details of why they won it? Why don't they get in there and talk about, here's the questions they asked, here's the answers we gave them. I mean, it's not secret stuff. Why can't they share all that publicly? Because a lot of times if they shared the realities around the awards that they won, people would say, what the hell is this even about? Who cares? But this proves to me that if All Covered was killing it, if it was knocking it out of the park, it was super successful, they would be sharing the numbers because they love to brag. Folks, go to their website. They got all these BLI awards and Key Point Intelligent awards. I keep telling our friends over at BLI, they got to do an award for the most profitable IT services company. Only when you do it, make sure you got to share the realities with everybody, right? The most growth. Would they win? What would they tell us? Ladies and gentlemen, our industry has got to consolidate. And this is the reason why. Because it's getting tough on these OEMs. And we're going to saturate the marketplace. We're going to keep giving stuff away. We're not going to make any money. We still got supply chain issues. And we're all fighting for the same customer in a customer base that doesn't need our product. Not nearly as much as they used to, just a few short years ago. And that's causing a problem. And we can all run from it, or we can hit it head on and talk about the realities and then put plans together to accomplish defeating those realities instead of hiding behind a whole bunch of fantasies like our industry's so used to doing. Just some things to think about, my friends, because we all know this. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.